Einen wunderschönen herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge von Lamplight City. Wir machen immer noch den Fall mit dem verschwundenen Kind, mit dem Baby, muss man dazu sagen, 6 Monate alt, von einem großindustriellen Sohnemann, Dingens, Bummens und hier ist die Nanny, also die gerade zu dem just dem Zeitpunkt aufgepasst hat aufs Kind, aber wir gucken vorher mal.
Another Harris hand-me-down, no doubt. You'd think they would have washed it first.
Oh Gott.
Seems like that boiler's the only thing in here that's less than 10 years old. My mother had a pewter teapot as well. Always made the tea taste funny. The Harris family doesn't seem to hold the comfort of their servants in very high regard. I think a bed of nails would be an improvement.
Okay, ich empfinde es jetzt als nicht so schlimm, ne?
A boy taking a nap under a tree while his dog runs around in the distance. That brings back some good memories.
Ach ja.
Pretty distinguished-looking gentleman. Handsome. Good fashion sense. Wonder who he is.
Tja, das werden wir vielleicht rausfinden.
Her Majesty Queen Jessica. This was clearly painted a long time ago. This looks like a mourning portrait of a young woman. Probably a relative of Mrs. Davis. Painting of a tower on a Scottish moor. I wish I'd been able to make it over there.
Oh ja, Schottland ist so schön.
Painting of a misty forest with a cemetery in the background. Cheery stuff. That chest is full of undressed dolls? What the hell is wrong with this old bat? It's a spirit reaching out to a very frightened man. Possibly the fakest looking photo I've ever seen.
Okay, ich glaube, wir können gleich loslegen und quatschen, ne? Mrs. Davis. Da wollt ihr ja nicht hin.
I have some questions for you, Mrs. Davis.
All right.
Ach Gott. Wie eine Oma.
Tell me about the kidnapping of Charles Harris.
Oh dear, may the spirits forgive me. I feel so awful. Charlie was my responsibility, and I failed.
Mrs. Davis, that is beside the point. What's important now is finding him and bringing him home. To do that, I need your full cooperation.
Oh, you're right, Mr. Fordham. I'm sorry. I just need to collect my thoughts, get the negative vibrations out of my mind. Now, what specifically would you like to know?
Oh, okay.
What time did the kidnapping occur?
I'm not entirely sure. I know I was in the nursery having a cup of tea about 8:30. I remember feeling very drowsy. I must have passed out then because the next thing I knew, I was being woken by Mrs. Harris. That was after she got home, about 10:30. To think, whoever took Charlie did it while I was in the room. Oh, may the spirits grant me peace.
Do you happen to take any sort of sleep medications or soporifics?
Oh, dear me, no. Those types of drugs cloud the mind and make it impossible to tune into the ether.
Seitenhieb.
You say that as though it were a bad thing.
I beg your pardon?
Apologies, I spoke out of turn.
Okay.
Can you think of anyone who would have wanted to take the child?
Well, I'm not one to gossip, but I am quite sensitive to the energy and vibrations that people give off.
Okay.
I get the impression that Mr. and Mrs. Harris aren't very happy in their marriage.
Ach.
Ah, come on. Anyone could have picked up on that. Anyone except you, that is.
Mr. Harris likes to stay out late and not take his wife with him. I can't remember the last time they went out together. I don't know what he gets up to, but it's possible he may have made some enemies.
Ach.
Can you think of any reason why someone would want to kidnap Charles?
It might have been for money, but last I heard, there was no demand for a ransom. I honestly don't know why this happened, Mr. Fordham. I just hope you find the poor child. He must be scared to death.
I found this piece of torn fabric in the nursery. Does it look familiar to you?
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
I found this button in the baby's crib. Do you recognize it?
Why, yes. That's one of Barney's eyes.
Barney?
Charlie's stuffed bear. It's his favorite toy. A gift from my friend.
Das wusste die Mutter nicht?
I didn't find a stuffed bear in the nursery.
Then whoever took the baby must have taken Barney as well. Oh, at least the poor thing has something to comfort him. Bless the spirits.
Das wusste die Mutter nicht? Ist aber seltsam.
Who is Linda?
Mrs. Linda Walker. She's a good friend of mine. As I said, she gave me Barney as a gift for Charlie.
Can you tell me anything else about her?
Oh, she's a lovely girl, very much in tune with her spiritual nature. I greatly enjoy my conversations with her.
When was the last time you saw her?
Oh, I don't remember. No, wait. It was at the last Spectre Society meeting on the 19th. That's right.
19, okay.
What is the Spectre Society?
It's a club for spiritualists and amateur investigators of the paranormal.
Oh Gott.
We meet twice a month to socialize and discuss our findings.
I see. Sounds fascinating.
Though I don't expect you to share my beliefs, Mr. Fordham.
Oh, I have a bit more experience than you'd think with regards to the spirit world.
You can say that again.
Where exactly do these meetings take place?
At a private residence in Gascon.
May I have the address?
Why, yes, it's 325 Rue Jameau. Are you going to seek spiritual guidance to find Charlie?
Perhaps. You never know what might be worth looking into.
Oder wir können andere befragen, weil es wahrscheinlich aus der Quelle und aus der Ecke kommt.
That's a lovely portrait. Who is it of?
That is my late husband, Jonathan. He used to attend meetings of the Spectre Society with me, bless him. I tried to get him to be more in tune with the other side, but I think he was just humoring me. He was a good man. Everyone at the society cared for him very much.
Do you have Linda Walker's address?
No, I don't. I never visited her home. I get the feeling she doesn't like having visitors or being home very much. She prefers to meet people elsewhere. I was the same way after my husband died. It was embarrassing for my friends to see me living so differently. But I feel it's not just a matter of pride for dear Linda. I think there are lots of bad memories associated with
Was die
where
alles
she
weiß.
lives. I try to stay away from places like that. They leave a mark on the soul, you know.
I couldn't help but notice that chest full of dolls in the corner.
Oh, that. Oh, I know it must look a bit strange, but I pick up old and broken dolls so they can be repaired and donated to orphanages. It's my way of giving back to the
Wirklich?
community and helping poor children who have nothing to play with.
Well, what a kind soul. I wish she would find less creepy ways to express her altruism.
Die Kommentare sind so schön.
How long have you worked as a nanny?
Only a few years. I never had to work when I was married. My husband had a lot of money. Unfortunately, he was in great debt. And after the spirits took him back to the ether, I wasn't left with much. So I began working as a nanny to make ends meet. But I consider taking care of children a reward in its own right.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Haben wir hier neue Infos? Nein, ne? 9:30 bis 10:30. Das sind 2-Stunden-Fenster, ne? Müssen wir uns mal merken. So, ich mache wieder mein typisches. So. Dann können wir eigentlich theoretisch hier raus. Das ist Ihr Ehemann. Aha, ja. Die
I'll be going
musikalische.
now, Mrs. Davis.
Ja,
May the spirits guide your path.
okay. Die Musik ist wirklich gut untermalt, finde ich. Ach ja, hier. Club der Spiritsammler. Ja, gehen wir erstmal hier zum Baugebäude. Mörder.
Well, someone certainly wasn't shy about making their opinion known. Rich people really do like making others aware of what's theirs, don't they? Now that is an impressive piece of machinery.
Too many have died to allow this to continue. Steam tech must be stopped.
I suddenly remembered a joke. What's the difference between the HMS Lenore and Chief Snelling? One is a greatly disliked and untrustworthy sack of hot air, and the other is the HMS Lenore.
Was haben wir denn hier hinten gerade eben?
Do you suppose that's for keeping protesters out or the yard workers in?
Beides.
Time has come to reject steam machines. They take our jobs, they take our families, they take our lives.
Don't these people have jobs they need to go to?
We won't stand for this injustice any longer.
But the way this gate is set up, I think trespassers should get an award for being able to breach the fortress. Elect Hart Leroy, the man of the people. I think that's preaching to the choir around here.
Okay, dann werden wir mal hier mit ihm reden, ne? Einen der
Pardon me, are
Tatverdächtigen.
you Arthur Devons by any chance?
Yes? Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. Could I ask you a few questions?
Guess so, yeah.
Ist es so klug, wenn man ihn fragt, wenn das dann wirklich ist, ne?
You recognize this letter, Mr. Devons?
How'd you get that? That wasn't meant for you.
I found it at the home of Mr. Malcolm Harris. He tells me you've been sending quite a few of these to his father.
Me and everyone else what had someone killed by that devil machine. I'm not the only one, you know.
Perhaps not, but he told me you were the most persistent. What have you got against the Harris family?
Family? Don't know nothing about the family. The only one I got a problem with is Clyde Harris, the one who owns this yard. He's just like all those other rich bastards with their heads in the clouds. The man don't care about the dead. He just wants to make as much money as he can. I'm just trying to make him realize how wrong he is.
Do you know anything about the kidnapping of Charles Harris?
Charles Harris? Who's that?
Clyde Harris's grandson.
I didn't even know he had a grandson. I can't believe someone with a grandkid, a family, would want more flying death in the air. How many more people have to die before someone realizes that steam machines are evil? People will kill their own mams for a crown these days.
Verstehe ich gerade nicht den Kommentar.
Mr. Harris told me you send a bag of chicken bones and dust along with your letters. Why is that?
Chicken bones? Dust? Nah, that's not right. I've only sent letters.
Are you certain of that?
Yes, as sure as I'm standing here.
Right. And I'm the queen. I get the feeling this guy will crack if we figure out what the significance of his little gift is.
Voodoo vielleicht?
Why are you out here protesting?
Because what Harris Construction is doing ain't right. I lost my wife in the Ligeia crash, and I'm not the only one, neither. Hundreds of people were affected by that disaster, and now these bastards are making another airship. It's like a slap in the face to everyone who died. I just can't understand it.
What do you hope to accomplish by protesting?
Simple. We want construction of the Lenore stopped, and a full investigation into the Ligeia disaster. Not only that, we want compensation for our losses.
Aha.
Royal Maverick took care of all the families of those on board, but the families of the ones in the park didn't get a single copper. It just isn't fair. We aim to make things right. After that, it'll just be a matter of time before people realize that there's no future in steam tech, and they'll call the whole thing off.
The innocence of the downtrodden. I wish I could be as naive as them. It would have made my life a lot easier.
Nicht jetzt.
You must have loved your wife very much.
Are you joking? I loved her more than there are stars in the sky. She was my whole world, Mr. Fordham, the light of my life. It's been nothing but cold and dark since she was killed. You're married, aren't you, Mr. Fordham? I see a ring on your finger.
I am, yes.
Then take my advice. Appreciate every moment you have with her. You never know when she'll be ripped out of your life, leaving you with nothing.
You know, this fellow was actually pretty wise. Maybe we misjudged him.
Ja, es ist eine falsche Spur, ist das.
Does this piece of fabric look familiar to you?
Looks like it came from some fancy jacket, the type you'd expect to see on the snobs in Leon. I could never afford clothes like that in a million years.
Die Ehefrau hat doch gesagt, das ist irgendwas Billiges.
You recognize this button?
Can't say I do, but it looks handmade. I wonder how long it will be before the poor soul who crafted that button gets booted into the street and replaced with some steam-belching contraption.
You seem very dedicated to your cause.
I'll take that as a compliment, Mr. Fordham.
There's quite a lot of people who are against steam tech, aren't there?
Yes, the movement is gaining ground and growing rapidly, I'm pleased to say.
I've heard stories about some more extreme members. Do you know anything about that?
You mean the Red Hats? Sure, I've heard of them. Even met a few. But if you think I'm telling you anything else beyond that, you're sorely mistaken.
Are you a member of the Redites, Mr. Devons?
No, I prefer more peaceful methods of making my voice heard. Now, if you don't mind, I think we should drop the subject.
Good day to you, Mr. Devons.
You too, Mr. Fordham.
Okay. Hilft
Todd
uns,
Harris has no...
hilft uns aber jetzt an der Stelle gerade nicht weiter. So, was haben wir denn hier?
I wonder if Phillips' steam-powered carriages will ever make those things go out of fashion. Too dark to tell what's inside. They must enjoy the somber atmosphere. I wouldn't like to have a street lamp right outside my... I wouldn't like to have a street lamp right outside my window. Not without a good set of thick curtains, anyway.
Ah, okay. Fenster, ja.
Yes. May I help you?
This is the Spectre Society, right? I'm interested in joining.
Ah, yes, it is. Welcome, darling. Our membership process is a bit different to most social clubs. We require a sponsor.
Sounds simple enough.
Well, you see, we ask that sponsors be people who have passed on into the spirit world.
What?
Once you name your sponsor, I will attempt communication beyond the ether. When they answer, you will be judged and considered for
Ach,
membership.
den alten. Ich habe einen, ja.
I've got a sponsor.
Excellent. What is the name of your sponsor, darling?
Hier, der da.
Jonathan Davis is my sponsor.
You knew Jonathan? He was such a kind man.
Mit Salut.
Yes. I can feel his presence, and it speaks positively of
Ja,
you.
ist klar.
Please, come in, Mr. I didn't catch your name.
It's Miles Fordham.
And I am Angela Maxwell, the founder of the Spectre Society. Welcome.
Oh,
May I offer you some refreshments? Some water or tea, perhaps?
You're very kind, but I'm afraid I must decline right now.
Well, please let me know if you change your mind.
Would you look at this place? It's like a candy store for psychics. Those are some creepy twin girls. I could see a passing resemblance to Miss Maxwell, actually.
okay, sie ist also ein Zwilling.
There's quite a few members in this group.
Maxwell, Brown, Shaw, Gilbert, Walker. Angela, the meeting was wonderful, ne? Tolles Treffen. Bei Interesse an einem gebrauchten Textenbrett bitte bei Thomas melden. Linda, ich freue mich schon auf deinen Besuch nächste Woche in unserem Anwesen. Komm einfach gegen 8 Uhr abends und du kannst Charlie treffen. Bitte fragen Sie die Geister, um die Krankheit meines Sohnes zu heilen, ne?
I never much cared for all that mystic stuff. Why should your life be dictated by a bunch of cards?
What a fascinating device. Exactly what does it do?
That is an etherometer.
Was?
It's designed to pick up vibrations from the ether and translate messages from the spirits.
A great man once said to me, Bill, you aren't going to get very far in life just staring at balls. He's dead now. But then again, so am I.
Ach, diese Seitenhiebe.
I think I've seen one of these before. What does it do?
It's a spirit board. We use it to contact spirits, and they in turn spell out a message with the letters on the board.
Well, I've got a message from Miss Maxwell if she ever tries to use a spirit board around me.
Ja, das ist die Frage. Wie funktioniert das aktuell dann wirklich mit dem Geist, ne?
Ooh, spooky. That ghost between the two people almost manages to look convincing. That's probably the storage case for the spirit board.
Da ist ein Zettel oder sowas.
It's nice of Miss Maxwell to let people borrow her books. even if they are all just a bunch of nonsense. And coming from me, that's really saying something.
Das Rätsel spontaner Selbstentzündung. Spontane menschliche Selbstentzündung ist ein hochgradig kontrovers diskutiertes Feld. Sie verliert aber nie ihren Stellenwert bei gelehrten Anhängern des Okkulten und Unerklärlichen. Der Begriff bezieht sich auf Verbrennen durch ein Feuer, für das es keinen ersichtlichen äußeren Auslöser gibt. Der Ursprung des Feuers wird innerhalb des Körpers des Opfers gewähnt. Das Buch Medizinische Rechtsprechung aus dem Jahr 1823 listet die Gemeinsamkeiten verzeichneter Fälle spontaner menschlicher Selbstentzündung auf. Hierunter finden sich erstens, Opfer sind chronische Alkoholiker. Zweitens, im Allgemeinen handelt es sich um Frauen fortgeschrittenen Alters. Drittens, die Hände und Füße fallen für gewöhnlich ab. Blah. Viertens, das Feuer richtet wenig Schaden an Gegenständen in Körpernähe an. Fünftens, schleimige und übelriechende Ascherückstände bleiben zurück. Eine Illustration zweier Männer, die ein Opfer der spontanen menschlichen Selbstentzündung finden. Die meisten Ärzte und Ermittler vermuten, dass Alkoholismus Auslöser der spontanen menschlichen Selbstentzündung ist. Okay. Oh Gott. Nee, oder?
Chicken.
Huch, was? Was? Ich wollte eigentlich nur durchklickern. Was habe ich jetzt hier? Oh Gott. Linda Walker beim Club der Geisterkunde Arthur Devins über Voodoo-Praktiken befragen. Ach so, hier wegen dem Voodoo. Was haben wir hier? Grauen der Tiefe. Der Riesenkrake. Ich klicke mal auch bloß mal kurz durch. Und die Kunst der Seance. Und Astralprojektion. Ich glaube, hier wird aber nichts weiter kommen. Das könnten wir bei Interesse doch mal komplett durchgehen. Ja, irgendwas hier mit Voodoo in der Bretagne. Ja, der Ort, der hätte gepasst. Huch. So. Und raus. Was haben wir hier noch?
Plaque says Leonora Pattinson, seer. She looks like someone I would not want to fool around with.
Ja. So, wir haben, glaube ich, alles. Gut, dann werden wir in der nächsten Folge, werden wir dann uns mit Angela Maxwell unterhalten und schauen, was sie zu diesem Fall beitragen kann. Vielen, vielen Dank fürs Zusehen und bis zur nächsten Folge. Euer Firefox.